I have to set the example to the young people. That goes for male and female. I have to set the example of credibility and integrity in terms of what I'm supposed to do. Because there will be people watching me, and they saying, he's supposed to be this. He was that, and now he's this. But look how he's behaving. So the wisdom part is something that you can't go to school for. It's only through your involvement in building relationships. You didn't hear me say network. Relationship. Relationship brings about trust. I've traveled the world, had an office in Bethlehem. Anybody ever been to Bethlehem? Something great happened. I ain't talking about Bethlehem, Alabama. We do have a Bethlehem. I knew I was in Rome a couple of years ago, and I was supposed to have been speaking for one of my best friends at one of the colleges in Atlanta. And he called me and he said, Charles said, don't forget about tomorrow. I said, oh no, I got it precisely down. I'm gonna be there. He said, where are you now? I said, I'm in Rome. He said, oh, that's just up the street from Atlanta. I said, Dr. Wade, I'm in Rome, Italy. So what I'm saying is that the whole world is looking at African Americans. The whole world, because of what we've been through. And you don't get it by sitting on your thumbs and sitting back watching CNN. You know, Hamas came into Israel. I was there 5 days prior to them coming in violently in their gliders and what they did in Israel. My wife was invited by the First Lady of Israel to lead a tour. And Rick and DeMarc, our new president of SCLC, and others can tell you, we were there. And the reason Hamas, you're not going to see this on CNN. That's why you have to go get information for yourself. I never let a plane ticket get in my way of going to find out what is needed, not only for myself and the organization, but for my people. So the reason Hamas, and you probably never heard this, what, a year and a half ago now? The reason Hamas came in and did what they did with Israel. Israel is known for the best technology in the world. Why they didn't detect Hamas coming in at that particular time, quietly on those ladders? Why? Because they were fighting among themselves. Israel was getting ready to have a civil war. A civil war. Why, Steele? Over the name of Jesus Christ. Woo! Hello, somebody. Why are they not telling you that on the news? Say what? They don't want you to know. Absolutely. So my point is, as I close, but I do have two more points. I never met a microphone I didn't like. But I will close in 2 or 3 minutes. They didn't want you to know. So you have to go and get this information for yourself. Now, another thing they didn't want you to know, that you're going back to Jim Crow. Somebody said, what? All right, Doc. I gave a speech in Berlin, Germany, and the church was packed. 2013, right after it happened. It was June the 25th. How many folks know you're going back to Jim Crow? Be honest with yourself, because you're going to be in church in a few days. Just a few people. See, most black folks and white folks don't even know that we gone back to Jim Crow. You worse off now than you was prior to 1965, because at least we own something. We own some land and some other things. But the point is, we lost the 1965 Voter Rights Act, and I can't think, who was president 2013? Who was the president? Huh? I didn't say it. Who you say? Are you afraid to say it? President Obama was the president. And I was there at the U.S. Supreme Court, outside with a sign saying, don't gut Section 4 and Section 5 of the 1965 Voter Rights Act. And I was talking about executive order. Emancipation Proclamation came about because of what? Executive order. It didn't pass Congress until 2 years later. They told President Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, you can't do this, sir. He said, why I can't do it? It's the right thing to do, and I got the power of the pen. So what you seeing going on with this current administration is a root cause in there. He said the Negroes didn't get upset when we took their freedoms back. They didn't get upset. So now we got them because they still applauding that we got a black president. And I appreciate President Obama. I appreciate him. But I think he should have gotten more involved with grassroots organizations than what he did. And he had too many other folks who think opposite of like we think around him. I heard one of the fellows who was his advisor heavily criticize State Representative Al Green when he walked out on the speech of Trump a couple weeks ago. And I looked at David Axelrod, and I said, he was one of the closest of people around President Trump. Was he telling him not to restore the 1965 Voter Rights Act? Who else was around him? Were they telling him what to do? I didn't see too many black folks around him. And just because you black don't mean you have the interests of other black folks. You have to have a certain mindset. So, in closing, let me, and I'm finished, I want to tell you something that I do and that we do at SCLC in terms of training. One is, and you need to write this down, because I ain't giving it out no more, because I'm too busy to go to work. Matter of fact, I was supposed to be in China 2 weeks ago. I sent my son-in-law. And then he came back. I got a call from Paris, France. And then he had to go right back to Paris, France. I couldn't go because my wife has been sick. But she's feeling better now. I'm getting ready to close the contract. Hello, somebody. Get ready to close the contract. That's what it's all about. And let me say this. Politics has never freed the oppressed. I see somebody writing something down. Politics has never freed the oppressed. The oppressed must free politics. Now, I was elected for 18 years as a state senator out of Alabama and a city councilman. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. One take us for granted and the other one just take us. That's politics. And once you're in politics, you're in the system. You're in the system. And I got problems that we don't have people like Representative Al Green that's in position of being elected and not walking out on the president when he was giving his speech, because he talking about cutting all of the programs through executive order. President Joe Biden could have done an executive order to restore the 1965 Voter Rights Act. What's going on, y'all? You know what the bottom line is? Money. Money. You got to vote. People died to vote. I've been to jail more times I can count, fighting for the rights to vote. But you need something else in that marriage of voting. You need some money. Because that's what politics is all about. Who gonna get the money? Who created an opportunity for Elon Musk to save Tesla? Talk to me. Who did it? And who was president? I rest my case. I ain't finished. I got to finish these 6 steps. Information gathering, number 1. I ain't gonna be here tomorrow. I'm gonna be on that plane going to Atlanta, and I'm gonna be in another city tomorrow. So I'm gonna take my time with this. Don't have me to come up here and you don't want me to give you information that's gonna help you. These are the 6 principles of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. These principles can save churches, they can save marriages, they can save you as an individual. I see 2 or 3, you get ready to write it down. I need 1 more to write it down. All right. 6 principles of nonviolence. Number 1, information gathering. We train people all over the world with this. That's why I was in Israel. Been to Israel 5 times. Been baptized in the Jordan River 5 times. They said, why so many times? I ain't taking no chances. I want to go where the Lord is. So you got gathering of information. Number 2, once you get the information, you educate the people on the information you got. That's what's not being done all over this land in politics. Most black folks and white folks didn't even know that Section 4 and Section 5 was getting ready to be gutted by the U.S. Supreme Court. Hello? Didn't even know it. Had you known it, 50 million folks would have been out there raising sand, and they never would have done it. But somebody didn't do their job. I'm not here to bash nobody. It was Ida B. Wells that said, you must always shine the light on the truth. And what's wrong with us? We're afraid to tell the truth. You got to be courageous to stand up and tell the truth. America is racist. Somebody talking about it. I'm not afraid. I ain't heard nobody say that yesterday. Oh, you got to write a proposal, and you got to have a grant writer. Bullseye! I didn't curse. I didn't curse. Bullseye! don't want you to get the loan because you're black. It's racism. The 3 ills in society happen to be by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Racism, poverty, and military. Dr. King was killed for 2 reasons. His opposition to the Vietnam War. And number 2, he told Harry Belafonte, he said, Harry, I made a mistake. I integrated my people into a burning house. Talk to me, church. Talk to me, church. I'm telling you the truth. I integrated my people into a burning house. What was he talking about? He was talking about economics. He forgot the economics because he thought the integration would bring about the economics. So he was killed because he started the Poor People Campaign, which Dr. King said America is too rich to have anybody in poverty. Now you're talking about you love Dr. King. Many of them love him because he dead. Ain't got the food with him no more. 50% of black folks didn't support Negroes at the time. Didn't support Dr. King. His own people set him up to be killed. People that should have been with him. Number 3, make personal commitment. Are you willing to die or are you just up here playing a game? Personal commitment. That's number 3. My life has been at stake, my wife and my children, for many of years. And it never stopped me for fighting like I was a state senator going to jail. Charles, you're a different Negro now. You can't go to jail no more. I said, thank you, my brother. Let me just tell you this before I give you number 4. Exceptional thinking will always conflict with ordinary. What are you talking about, Steele? I used to spend a lot of my times trying to talk to folks who just doesn't get it. They never travel. They never put themselves in danger. They never been globalized. I'm a globalized person. I build relationships with the heads of states. That's why I'm getting ready to give y'all some distributorship in jobs. Working with the world's largest manufacturer out of China. Then I went and found the world's largest construction company in this country called Turner Construction. How did you get that, Steele? Building relationships, not networking. You got to get in front of folks. Why did China want me to come to close the deal? Because you can't do it with technology. You got to do it with a human being. Looking face to face, eyeball to eyeball. That's how you get it done. You're looking at a man who saved SCLC twice, not one time. Raised $20 million in 3.5 years. Anybody here ever raised $20 million? Well, listen to me. Because experience is everything. How did you do it, Steele? The ones I raised it from, I used to raise hell with them all the time. I didn't curse. Hell is in the Bible. And if you don't know it, you either going to heaven or you going to hell. So we all need to straighten our lives up. I raised $20 million in 3.5 years, built a brand new building in Atlanta, Georgia. And everybody in Atlanta think they're a leader. Who this country boy from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, coming over here telling us what to do? But we built it. Number 5. I'm almost there. Number 4. Somebody paying attention. See that? See that? I'm going to put it like this. I was fooling you to see. No, my glasses wasn't working, but I'm glad to know you're paying attention. Number 4. I want to get to number 5 so bad. Number 4, negotiation. Somebody paying attention. I like that. Number 4, negotiation. It's an art. It's a skill. You got to know how to negotiate. See what's going on now? They talking about Target, and they talking about boycotting this. They ain't tried to talk to nobody at the top. We just going to boycott. You got all these steps to go through before you boycott. Number 5, direct action. That's when you raise the sand. When you don't get nowhere in negotiation, then you go. That's number 5. It's not number 1. Last one, reconciliation. You always reconcile. So as I go to my seat, I want to say that the diameter of your mind is determined by the circumference of your environment. Whoo, I know that's rough. Oh, come on, talk to me. You want me to say it again? Talk to me. Hey, cuz. The diameter. Oh, come on, I know I'm on it. The diameter of your mind is always determined by the circumference of your environment. What are you talking about, Steele? Some of y'all need some new friends. Woo! Some of y'all need some new friends. Still stuck with the same old Negroes telling you what you can't do. And a lot of it came out of slavery, and they call it jealousy. God bless you.